guys. I'm sure the word has already spread. I gave bonuses to everybody that had a finish tonight. Total of 9 bonuses. Congratulations to everybody. Gate was $4.5 million, the biggest gate ever in O2 history. And this was the biggest fight night of all time.
Yeah, when you talked a lot this week about how you weren't so concerned about the walkouts and things like that, but you were really excited about the talent on this card from this portion of the world.
Right.
They couldn't have delivered any better, right?
It seriously could not go any better. It was fucking unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. Everybody can think about this. Everybody's been locked up for 2.5 years. Some of these kids have been fighting in the Apex or with no fans and stuff like that, and then to come in tonight in their home country and deliver the way that they did was a big night. And they're all fighting real people. These weren't like hometown setup fights. They fought tough guys.
Dana, with the main event as well, with Tom Aspinall representing.
I still got this guy, yeah.
Oh, no.
That's right.
To that point, with Tom Aspinall in the main event, I feel like he's kind of part of this new wave of heavyweights. I feel like Mick Maynard's done a really good job kind of rebuilding this division that was once considered a lot older. How do you just feel about how this has come along and having guys like Tom Aspinall, like Tai Tuivasa, who are all in the top 5 now, are very close?
He fought a real guy who's seen it all and done it all, durable, big, rangy, kicks hard, and went in there and made it look easy, So now, this kid will break into the top 5 this week, and now he's in the conversation to fight literally the best heavyweights in the world.
Yeah. And in the co-main, Arnold Allen, 9-0 in the UFC now. There hasn't been many guys that have put a run like that together and either not got like a title shot or an interim title fight or something like that. He said he wants to fight Calvin Kattar. Do you feel like he's kind of in that upper echelon, should be headlining cards, things like that?
Who he just beat tonight and the way that he beat him, he got in there and went right to war with Hooker, stood right in the pocket, didn't back down, and literally destroyed him, man. It's unbelievable. He's ready for anything now. Tonight we found out where that kid's really at, and he's ready.
And as far as Paddy, where did that performance go? I know you were getting asked a ton about him this week, and to deliver like he did. What's your perspective on him now?
Yeah, this week I was getting tired of hearing, wait till you see his walkout, wait till you see this and that. I want to see him fight. He needs to win. But he did, and he did spectacularly. And when he was in trouble, he came back and turned the fight around and won. I'll give you an example. So on my Instagram, I posted the face-offs yesterday from the heavyweight fight. Did 120,000 views on my Instagram. Paddy's face-off did 1.3 million. So all the talk going in this fight about his walk-in and all this shit, listen, it's real. This kid's got a ton of hype behind him, and tonight he showed everybody that he's the real deal.
And I know you don't matchmake on the night of the fight, but Ilya Topuria got a big finish. Paddy, they had their beef this week. Do you feel like that's kind of just a layup for you guys?
I have no idea. I don't know what's next. I'm not even, tonight was such a good night. Like, my brain is absolute mush tonight. I'm just, and my voice and some other things too. But we'll get back home and figure out what's next. And tonight re-energized me and reminded me of what it's like to do fights over in the UK, man. We're coming back this year. I don't give a shit what the schedule is. We're gonna be moving some shit around when we get home. So, the way I look at it, you do half the kids that won. You come back here and do a card with them and somebody else, and you take the other half of the kids to Abu Dhabi in October. So, just off the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking right now.
And just last thing from me, not to end it kind of on a down note, but there's a lot of people who saw the broadcast as cage side, so I didn't see, but they were wondering why Nikita Krylov didn't get the Ukrainian flag shown on him and his.
He asked not to. He asked to be. Yeah.
Just any particular reason?
I don't know. That's his personal shit. I don't care.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dana, from a businessman's perspective and the fight fan that we all know that you are, this night was so successful for you. And when you look at it, break the card down, there's at least 3 or 4 guys on that card that could main event a stadium show, an arena show over here. Just how great is it to see how well it's gone? Arnold, Allen, Molly, Paddy, Tom. It's been incredible, hasn't it?
Yeah. Ask me that question again.
Just in terms of the excitement for the future of MMA in the UK, you've got 4 guys where you said you definitely want to come back. That gives you the option to say, Manchester, we could have Tom Aspinall main event. Liverpool, we could have Paddy, Molly co-main event. You've got options in this country, and it's just great to see.
I mean, coming in this week, I was saying this is the greatest batch of talent we've ever seen in the history of the UK. And tonight we were going to find out, you know, how they were all going to do it. I mean, they killed it. It couldn't be any better. So yeah, I mean, we have so many options now, so many things we can do. That's why we're going to go home and I'm going to figure out immediately how to come back here. I don't know where we'll go or what we'll do yet, but like you just said, I have nothing but options.
I mean, Tom had a lot of things to go through heading into this fight. There was the going from sort of the early main event card to the main event with the change and everything, and then dealing with his opponent maybe not even coming over. How impressed were you with how well he's rose to the occasion? He's not fought in front of a crowd in 2-3 years. And was he on your radar prior to this as well? What were your pre-fight thoughts ahead of him before this even happened?
Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like I was telling him, he fought one of the best in the world tonight, and he made it look easy. He's going to break into the top 5 next week, and when the rankings come out, and he's in the discussion now to fight anybody. He couldn't have made a bigger or better statement than he did tonight.
And just aside from tonight, this is just the last one from me. I spoke to Conor a few weeks ago, and he seemed so passionate and re-energized about the fight game. Obviously, there's been the talk about Paddy and stuff, whether that's going to go down the line or who knows. But in terms of Conor's return, there's so many guys on the table. Nate Diaz trilogy, Masvidal, even mentioned Usman the other day. In your ideal scenario, who would you like to see Conor face, just off the top of your head?
Conor's not cleared by his doctor yet. When he's cleared, I mean, some of these fights are going to happen this summer. We'll see what the landscape looks like, and we'll see where his head's at that time, and we'll pick a fight for him.
Take it just down to the right here.
Yeah.
With the bonuses you gave out tonight, just when you know. Excellent. With all the bonuses you gave out tonight, was that just a case that you were very excited about how good the event was, and you got backstage?
All the bonuses, yeah. Well, they had already done the bonuses, and they were walking me through it, and I was like, fuck it. I'm in such a good mood, man. Everybody in bonus. And they all deserved it. I mean, tonight couldn't have been a better night. You couldn't write a better script. It couldn't go any better than it did. The fights were awesome. Everybody fought their ass off. Kids who won, kids who lost. Yeah.
Would you say this is comparable to UFC Dublin back in the day when they had all the Irish guys win? Is this version for England?
I don't remember. All I know is tonight was fucking amazing. I sat there tonight and had one of the best times I've had in a long time, and yeah.
You had a guest with you at ringside, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. I'm curious, I've heard Eddie say that he likes MMA, but he doesn't really understand it. Do you know what he thought of tonight's event and what he thought of the fights? They
were all blown away. They were like, this is our first MMA fight, this is incredible, and yeah, they had a blast. I mean, if you don't understand MMA or you don't whatever, if you sat in that crowd tonight and didn't have the best time of your life, you're fucking dead probably. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's just tonight, I do this every weekend, right? And I had the best time ever tonight. So people were hitting me up from the States saying on TV, this thing felt like a huge pay-per-view.
Was he just?
And it's the English crowd. The crowd, when you're home and you can hear the chanting and all the stuff that's going on, the way that these people react to fights out here, and then the fights are off the charts. It doesn't get any, if you're a fight fan, it doesn't get any better.
Yeah, we are very good. Lastly, was Eddie here just as a guest, or is there some business going on?
Yeah, no, just a guest, yeah. We're friends, and I like Eddie a lot, and he finally got the opportunity.
Dana, just over here at the back.
Were all the bonuses the usual 50,000, even the extra ones, or was it adjusted?
Was what?
Were all the bonuses the usual 50,000?
No, they're all 50,000. Yeah, yeah.
And then Paul Craig was obviously called out Anthony Smith for a fight in Glasgow in June. Is that just wishful thinking, or is that?
Very.
And finally, what did you make of Molly McCann's performance? I know you gave her a bonus, but she ran out of the crowd, grabbed the UFC title, was running around with it outside. What did you make of her performance?
I think she's a maniac, and I love everything about her. She's fun. She's fun to watch. She's fun to listen to. And her fights are fun. Both those girls fought their ass off tonight, and yeah.
Dana,
To your right.
over here at the back.
Yeah.
I think you touched on it a little bit, but there's been some rumours that there's a few events booked in the UK for the remainder of the year, and you're just waiting on a few things to confirm them.
That's not true.
Not true?
No, it's not true.
That's fine. And
To be honest with you, I'm not going to be that honest with you, actually. We absolutely, positively did not book any other places here, and we're not looking at any other places till tonight. After tonight, we'll get back to the office and we will figure something else out to come back once more this year.
Mike touched on it a little bit, but he said that Arnold Allen is now on a 9-fight win streak. If he gets one more, that's obviously 10, and surely he can't be denied a title shot after that, right?
Arnold Allen, he's on a 9-fight win streak. If he gets a 10th fight win, would you consider him for a title next?
I don't know yet. I don't know. Tonight was a big win for him, though. I mean, to do what he did the way that he did it, big deal.
And just finally, true or false, British MMA fans are the best fans in the world?
Are British fans the best in the world?
Yes.
This is all I can say is, if you've never been to a fight here, I don't give a shit where in the world you live, you need to come here and see a fight one of these days. It's a different animal, man. It's a different experience. I wasn't even pissed when I got hit with like 3 beers at the end of the fight. Who gives a shit? This was awesome.
Thanks, Dana.
Yeah.
Where did you? With your reaction to tonight, would you ever consider putting on another pay-per-view over here like you did with UFC 204
Would you ever do a pay-per-view in London?
in Manchester?
It's a great question. So the only thing that would have made tonight even better, if you can even make tonight any better, would have been if Usman and Leon were the main event, and Aspinall was the co-main event. So the answer is yes, and I wanted to do that. I wanted this card tonight to be a title fight, and I was gonna move things around and try to make it happen, but Usman's hand just wasn't ready.
If Leon was successful in defeating Usman, would you be interested in him maybe having his first title defense as a pay-per-view here in the UK?
I'm gonna have a pay-per-view here. I will do it. I'll bring a title fight. Yeah.
And in terms of Paddy, do you think he's ready for a main event now?
Is Patty ready for what?
A main event.
A what?
Main
Main
event.
event. That was quick. I mean, I don't know. I mean, his numbers say yes. His numbers say yes. He can headline a fight night. Yeah.
Thank you.
Dana here. Have you checked your Instagram? Oh, to your left here.
Oh,
Have you checked your Instagram to see if you got the message from Mohammed Makayev? He said that he messaged you 4 years ago on Instagram that he'd be in the UFC.
no, nobody told me that. I love sports. Tom did too. Tom said when he was 12 years old, he met me at an arena, and he walked up to me and he said, "I'm going to fight for you someday." When he was 12. I love that shit.
And in terms of Mo, what did you make of his performance? I mean, it was emphatic.
Yeah. Everybody was tonight, man. Tonight was incredible.
Dana, slow it down, mate. First of all, thank you so much for coming back to the UK. It's been a few years, and as you said, it couldn't have gone any better. And I think in here we can all agree with that completely. What a card it was. All amazing finishes and made the British look great, which is what we always like. In regards to Paddy Pimblett, 2 fights in the UFC, and look how popular he is already. Are we seeing like another McGregor sort of coming through popularity-wise now? There's literally 2 fights in the UFC, and he's getting just 1.3 million views.
On mine. I mean, imagine what he did on UFC's, and imagine what he did this week for Barstool. It's one of those things when you have a guy that's as hot as this. He's like O'Malley too. I mean, O'Malley pulls big numbers. We've had a couple guys off the Contender Series that have pulled some big numbers. I mean, that's the best way I could think to explain it. If you look at some of the guys that have come off the Contender Series and we watch the numbers, we see what they do. You'll see these guys either move right to pay-per-view, or we headline them, or put them in strong positions on fight nights. So Patty is definitely one of those guys that could be one.
Yeah, I agree completely. And one more from me is, I know you gave everyone a fight tonight. We were talking back here thinking Dana's got his hands full who's going to get the fight bonuses tonight because there's so many to choose from. If you had to pick one, just one fight
Well,
tonight.
let me ask you, the media. Let me throw this back at you. If I had to pick three, I mean, when you go back, you think if you have to pick three, you'd have to go with Aspinall,
Arnold Allen.
right?
Yeah.
You have to go with Arnold, right?
And Molly.
And Molly.
That would be my top three.
Yeah.
It's the scariest knockout I've ever seen.
As I said, there's too many to choose from, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Craig came back. Craig was getting his ass whooped. Was about to get finished, right? He was on his back taking big shots, and he pulls that off. And then
How many times has Paul Craig done that?
Topuria was getting his ass whooped too. Topuria was losing that fight. And he comes back with that big shot. And again, vicious knockout. Yeah. Not an easy night.
Dana.
Thank you.
Okay. Wait, if you had to pick one,
If I had to pick one,
do you go with Aspinall or do you go with Arnold?
I'd go with Arnold because of literally this. He caught one on the chin so hard from Hooker and he took that. And
And he
straight
buckled
back.
too.
Yeah.
He buckled too and hung in the pocket, kept fighting. Dropped the one knee and then stayed there and kept fighting.
We had Gunnar Nelson here, we were trying to interview, and we were all looking at the telly, so Gunnar come and joined us watching the fight, because like, what's going on? Why are you all looking this way, not that way, you know? So yeah, mate, if I had to pick one, it would be the Arnold Allen fight.
Yeah. You had to pick one.
Molly.
Molly?
That was like knockout of the year.
Yeah.
Had to pick one. I know. It's greatest female knockout you'll ever fucking see.
it's up.
Women do not knock women out like that.
Valentina and Jessica I was pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh?
Valentina and Jessica I was pretty good for.
Yeah.
But that was really scary with Carolina.
That was a head kick too.
Yeah.
Kicking's a lot harder than hitting somebody with your arms, even if it's an elbow, man.
Third round too.
Third round, she was exhausted. Ooh, look at him trying to sell it to Molly right here. Who's back?
It was Molly. I've never seen
Molly?
walk past Prince Road, and I've never seen someone still like so out of it. Molly. Yes. Small.
Holy shit.
What would you say, Dana, what would you say? If we chuck it back to you, Dana, what would you say?
I agree with you on Arnold. Yeah, I'd have to go with Arnold. He just beat the shit out of fucking Hooker. I mean, that's who just moved down a weight class to fight in the lower weight class, and he did it within seconds of the first round.
And being dropped as well at the same time.
And was hurt. It's true. And stayed right in there and kept it a dog fight.
Hey Dana, to your right.
Yeah.
You brought up his name, Sugar Sean O'Malley. How would you compare the stardom of Paddy Pimblett, second fight in, with this arena, with the performance, to Sugar Sean O'Malley's stardom right now in the UFC?
I don't know. I mean, it's close. They're both huge. I mean, the difference between a guy like Paddy is these guys that are from England or Brazil or China or whatever it is, they got a whole country behind them. You know what I mean? America doesn't really work like that. So when you can become a star like O'Malley is in America, it's a big deal.
We knew this was a risky situation for Dan Hooker coming into this matchup, but after the loss here, do you like this weight division for him moving forward, or do you want to see him going back up at 155?
That's up to him. He came in and performed tonight. I mean, he made weight. He came in and went to war with a guy who's undefeated in this weight class, and he can do whatever he wants to do.
If you had to pick your favorite memory from tonight, aside from Molly's knockout, because that was spectacular, what would it be?
You took the fucking thing that I was going to say.
I know, it's rude.
It's just rude. I had to pick something from tonight other than Molly.
Arnold.
Huh?
Arnold.
It would probably be Topuria. The Topuria fight kicked off the main card, and Topuria has a hell of a chin. He took some big shots and knees, and what else did he get hit with? Something else, like maybe an elbow or something. Huh?
He got heady after the first round.
Yeah.
He got dropped in the head.
And then viciously knocks him out, which set up the Molly.
Over here.
Yeah, Dana over here. Earlier this week when we spoke, and you were saying about this was a huge night for this card to prove that perhaps there could be a stadium show in the UK down the road. So when you're talking about bringing a pay-per-view over here, is that what's in your mind, that that would be the stadium show perhaps?
Well, no, coming in this week, I thought that this was the greatest class of fighters going into a fight week ever in the history of the UK. And were we right or were we wrong? And we were right. Tonight we came in and they proved that they are. Yeah, what did you ask me? Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Not really.
I mean, you were saying that tonight was such a big night for them to prove that, if they can keep winning and keep that buzz, that there could be a stadium show. Surely they
a stadium show.
They couldn't have done much more, I guess, to what you were saying earlier this week.
Eddie Hearn looked at me tonight and said, you should do a stadium show after tonight, I'm going to tell you a couple reasons I don't like stadium shows. First of all, most of them are outdoors. And this is not a country you do shit outdoors, okay? Let's just be honest. And you don't get the type of same experience that you get in a stadium that you do. But the difference is, here, you guys are used to it. You guys are used to watching things in stadiums. I just think that you get a better event and a better atmosphere and a better experience in an arena.
Yeah. And you were talking about Paul Craig as well and what he did tonight. Unbeaten in 6 now, 5 wins. Like, where do you see him in the lightweight division? Light heavyweight
I
division.
don't know, he's just a fun guy to watch. The guy is always fun. Tell me when that guy's in a fight that sucks. He just never is. He goes out and goes for broke and tries to win. He's intense. Even at the weigh-ins, he's intense, He's a fun guy.
Where do you think his ranking lies, roughly?
Do I think what?
Where do you think he ranks, roughly, after tonight?
I don't know. He's fun.
Last one from me. Darren Till said at the Q&A the other day that he wants Uriah Hall and he thinks he could do that in the next few months. Does that interest you?
Till?
Yes.
I just saw Till eating pizza backstage. Till's back there eating pizza right now. I said, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you eating pizza?
You're at Hall's Buck Kenny.
Huh?
You're at Hall's Buck Kenny.
Yeah, who's he fighting?
Andre Muniz.
Huh?
Andre Muniz.
Yeah. He's got to fight.
Tough fight. Yeah, it's
Yeah, Dan, right here, second row. Right here. Obviously, the success of tonight is probably going to light a lot of fires, and there are a lot of fighters from other countries now kind of looking for the same thing. What's the criteria in terms of going anywhere else in the world outside of the UK for the UFC, and is there anything in the works, say, in the next quarter?
Well, first of all, we tried this and it worked out. It worked. When I told you guys earlier, I'm not going to be that honest with you. We had some problems. I was considering pulling out of here 2 weeks ago. I was going to refund everybody's tickets and go to Abu Dhabi. So.
Was that the roof, or was there anything in?
It's just there's certain things. The world's a nutty place right now, man. It's not as easy to do business. And I said, I'm just not going to play games, man. I'm going to go to places where I'm able to go and just run my business and do what I want to do. But I can tell you this: we will definitely do France this year. We'll definitely do France. And I will definitely come back here again. So this worked out. This was fun for us to come here and do this event. We had a little bit of a little wobbly a couple weeks ago, but we got it worked out. We got it fixed, and people kept their word, and we were able to come over here and do what we do. So I'm very happy in every sense of the word with this event, and I'm going to come back as soon as possible.
Glad to hear. Just one more quick one. There's been a lot of talk, and I think you confirmed that Leon Edwards next. And I know you said you want to do a pay-per-view here, but the timing we've been hearing is kind of July for the Usman fight. Is that the idea? Would International Fight Week make sense?
Usman in July. Does that make sense in terms of timing?
Usman in July?
Yeah. And Leon.
Yeah, Usman in July does make sense. We got to try to get that done when we get home.
Would that be International Fight Week then?
Yeah, probably.
Thank you.
And then right there.
Yeah.
Dana, I think you had Molly sat next to you during the paddy fight, did you? How was watching it alongside Molly?
Yeah,
I'm sure she was quite loud.
Yeah. When they hit me up and said, Molly wants to come out there and watch Patty's fight, can she? And I said, yeah, have her come sit with me. So she came out and she was pounding Howler head out of the bottle, going crazy, waiting for him to fight. She's awesome, man. I love her.
She is, and I'm sorry if you've answered this previously, but I was wondering, with Ngannou announcing that he might be out for about 9 months or something like that with a knee injury, what's the possibility of an interim title being created for the heavyweight division?
I mean, it's very possible. Do you know how long his surgery is going to take to recover from? We find out this week.
I think he said something like 9 months.
Yeah. If 9 months is true, if it's going to take 9 months for him to get cleared to start training again, I mean, that's almost a year before he would fight. So, yeah, we would do an interim title.
And I think if Aspen was in the top 5 after this, him and Tuivasa are the only guys that either haven't fought Ngannou or fought for a belt. They've kind of called each other out or whatever. Is there a possibility that that could have an interim title attached to it, or do you think that's not quite ready for them yet?
I don't know. I don't know if you throw the kid in a title fight with Francis after just breaking in to the top 5. But, crazier things have happened.
Thanks very much, man. Cheers.
Yeah, standing to your right. Were McCann and Tapiria's opponents taken to the hospital after their knockout losses?
Yeah, went to the hospital. Herbert, McKenna.
Carolina?
Yeah.
Is there any update on them? Because, quite brutal knockouts.
No, not yet. We don't. They went in there for CAT scans. They're not done yet.
I wanted to ask, after McCann's win, somehow she found a UFC belt. Do you know where that came from?
Yeah, it was a replica. There was a kid in the front row getting his belt signed. And I don't know how the hell she saw it, but she went and snatched it from him.
Didn't get it back?
I hope so.
I want to ask you just a different event. Peter Yan is fighting in a few weeks, and I believe his corner team haven't got visas, and it almost looks like he's trying to get likes of Henry Cejudo and Sean O'Malley in the corner. Do you know about that?
Peter Yan's team couldn't get visas potentially for Jacksonville, so he's asking. He said Henry Cejudo and
Sean
John
O'Malley
O'Malley might be in his corner. Can you confirm that's accurate?
That those guys were in his corner?
Or, his corner team have been denied visas. Do you know that?
Denied visas.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Thank you.
Over here. Last one.
Just a bit unrelated to tonight's event, but you mentioned Darren Till before. He's struck quite the bromance with Khamzat Chimaev, and I know you're going for dinner with those guys tomorrow night in Vegas. I heard you say it this week. What have you made of that partnership between them, and how good of a move do you think it is for Darren Till?
What's the question though? Sorry.
How good of a move is it for Darren Till to be partnering up with Khamzat Chimaev, and what do you make of that relationship between them?
What do you think of the Darren Till Khamzat Chimaev relationship?
What do I think of it?
Yeah.
And how good of a move do you think it is for him in terms of his career partnering up with someone like Khamzat?
And do you think it's smart for Darren's career to actually train with somebody like Khamzat?
I think it's great for anybody's career to train with Khamzat. Everybody that trains with Khamzat believes that he's like the best MMA fighter in the world, that he's going to win a world title. Everybody that trains with him says it. Till said it to me when I saw him here. And those are the kind of guys you want to work with. You want to work with guys that beat your ass every day in the gym. No, I'm glad that they're BFFs now.
It's quite a funny relationship, isn't it? It's quite a funny relationship. It's like a buddy cop movie. I'm happy. Well, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I'm happy for them. I'm glad these two got together. And you're going for dinner with them tomorrow night, so you're third wheeling that buddy cop relationship. So I'm just asking. Obviously, you're fond of them both. You're going for dinner with them tomorrow night, so I'm just asking as a boss.
Well, I like them both very much. Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Darren Till bought me my first ever NFT. So
He loves that stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. An Ali NFT. But yeah, I like both guys a lot, and I'm happy they're hanging out together.
I'm glad you're happy for them.
I hope I gave you what you were looking for.
Just here, to your right. After the fight, after Paul Craig's fight, he called out Anthony Smith. Is that a fight that you like? Paul Craig, you call that Anthony Smith?
I don't know. I don't make fights tonight.
Fair enough. And one other one. Do you see Paul Craig as a genuine title contender? Because it was mentioned before, he's on a good run now. So do you see him maybe challenging for the belt in the near future if he gets another win?
Who?
Paul Craig.
Paul Craig.
Oh, Paul Craig. I don't know. I mean, he had a great win tonight. We'll see what's next for him. And like I said, he's a fun, exciting guy to watch. I don't know yet.
Got it?
Good?
Dan, right down here with you. You talked about the atmosphere and the noise that UK fans sort of made, and when we had a conversation earlier this week, you said you were looking forward to getting back to it. Where would you rank this crowd in the history of UFC UK fans?
Rank what crowd this?
Yeah, tonight's crowd, yeah.
We've been here 10 times. I think, have we been to the O2 10 times?
I think
The UK 10.
Yeah, no, not 10 times so.
No, you've been here, I think, 11 times now.
Okay, so it's just, you know how hard it is to pick one of the, I mean, so many I don't remember, but, and again, tonight, like I said, reminded me how awesome it is to be over here in this type of crowd. So, but to rank it, I don't know. I mean, as far as the fights and the crowd and everything tonight, I mean, it doesn't go any better than tonight did. The only thing that makes tonight better is Usman and Edwards is fought for the title tonight, you know. But other than that, it's just, tonight was the perfect night.
Last question?
So last quick one, since we're talking about anything here, how's the filming of Tough going right now with Amanda and Juliana?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, it's over. We already wrapped the season, but yeah, it was a good season. Starts off a little weird, but turns out good. Yeah, it was a good season.
Do you know when they might fight?
No, not off the top of my head. First of all, we got to figure out when it's going to air. We don't know when it's going to air yet. So when they give us the time of the airing, then we figure out when the coaches will fight.
And you made a big fight recently between Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson. Obviously, Tony Ferguson's had some rough losses of late. How important is this fight for his UFC future?
Yeah, I mean, winning is always important here. Yeah, it's important.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, buddy. Good night, you guys. Thank you.